Skyblock patch 0.15 is finally released. This is Katapult for Katapult Gaming, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about this new patch. So the first thing, and this is going to be a major game changer for all the players, is the Skyblock leveling. So now pretty much everything you do, from combat to minions to skills, collections, and a whole bunch of other things, will be giving you Skyblock XP. Now the good news is that even if we did these things before the patch, the XP has been applied retroactively. So if you log in and you've been playing the game for a good while and you've made good progress, it's very likely you might have 100, 200, or even more Skyblock levels as you log in for the first time after the patch. And what the levels do basically is all of them give you some hit points, and a few will give you +1 strength as you level up. So over time, that's going to accumulate to give you quite a lot more life and some more strength as you progress. This will be the subject of its own video because there's quite a lot of things that you can do to gain some Skyblock levels, and it's going to make a huge impact on how you perform in the game. So definitely something you'll want to check out, and probably something you'll want to spend some time leveling up, specifically in doing things that if you've been neglecting one area of the game and focusing more on something else, there might be some ways to get some quick levels from those sections that you've been ignoring. Now, as part of that, Fairy Souls no longer give the permanent stat boost that they used to give. So instead, they give Skyblock XP, so they indirectly still give life and strength, but just through the Skyblock XP instead. And the other thing is they are now used to unlock your backpack slots. So basically, your first backpack slot will be unlocked by default, and slots 2 to 18, you'll have to unlock them going forward. Now the good news is if you already had backpacks in those slots and they become locked, your backpacks will remain there. So as I say, no worries. But if you want to remove them or add new ones and so forth, you will have to go for your Fairy Souls levels. They've also made some changes to Peak of the Mountain. So you now have a Peak of the Mountain 6 and 7. And now Heart of the Mountain level 7 gives you 3 token of the mountain, so you can unlock some of these new things easier. If you do dungeons, then you probably know how easy it is to max out your inventory, and inventory management is really annoying while you try to do your dungeon runs. So this new feature is there's now an NPC in the dungeon hub that will store the drops for your last 60 runs. So after each run is finished, you have 48 hours to go to the NPC and collect your items. And that way it should make it easier to do run after run and not have to do inventory management after each run. If you have an Emerald Blade and lost money due to a bug, the money has been refunded and you can check Jerry to get your coins there. But apparently they added a curse greed effect going forward, so any effect modifying your coins lost on debt will be cancelled. So if you use the Emerald Blade, do be careful. If you die, you will be potentially losing a lot of coins. So use at your own risk. It's meant to be a very strong sword, but it's also meant to be a risky sword to use and not an easy decision on if or when you use it. Balancing changes, I think these will be a little bit hit and miss. There's definitely some controversial changes they've introduced here. So we'll be going through all of these, but I think overall it's going to make it a little bit harder for players that are still in the mid-game or trying to make their way into endgame. There's a couple of strong nerfs in that area that it's going to make it really harder for those of us that are not in-game players to make it all the way there. So in terms of pets, the golden dragon now has a little bit more strength. Flying fish, a little bit more fishing speed, nothing much there. And the zombie pet, they changed the crafting recipe and the upgrade recipe also. So not a huge change necessarily there. In terms of gear, the Goldor leggings, slight improvement over here. The Juju Shortbow, this is one that's going to be devastating a lot of players, and honestly it might be a good time to get a cheap Juju bow, because I'm sure a lot of people will be either quitting or selling their Juju bows because they've increased the Enderman Slayer requirement from level 3 to 5, and a lot of the lower mid-game level players, it will be very hard to reach that level 5 Slayer requirement. Ideally you probably need to build a set of gear and invest a lot of time and money to make a proper Enderman Slayer set, unless you're going to pay somebody to kill all the bosses for you, which is definitely possible, but yeah, this is going to be a major time and money drain for anybody that wants to use the Juju Shortbow going forward. The Dark Claymore, this one, it has a little bit of an increase, and we'll see a lot of the cleavers are getting similar increases also. So if we go back up, the Livid dagger has the nerf from attack speed from 100 to 50. That's quite a huge nerf. And the Shadow Fury has a slight increase. Not quite sure if they're getting both of these, or if it's supposed to be 125 to 160 instead, or why exactly they broke it in two, but either way it kind of looks like they're trying to get people to not use the Livid dagger so much and move into the Shadow Fury as soon as we can. The Ragnarok's axe has been nerfed both in terms of damage and strength, so it's probably going to be seeing quite a lot less usage going forward. Spirit Scepter, I think, has a pretty decent buff here, with the mana cost going from 250 to 200. So if you have an ultimate wise on this, you'll be needing only 100 mana instead of 125. And I think that's a fair thing, because it can be quite easy to run out of mana unless you have 6, 7, 10,000 mana or something like that. But for somebody in the 3k mana range, this will help definitely keep the mana pool going for longer. Powerstones have a small change to them. I don't think anything here is groundbreaking and will make any of these now become suddenly popular if they were not already popular. I think the Furball was already used for some weapons, and with these small increases here and the decrease in walk speed, I don't think it's going to make much difference for those users, and same thing with the other two. Sven Slayer now has a really good thing where it's going to take a lot less mobs to spawn the boss, so this is really good. So they say it's about 30% faster, which is good because it does take a while to summon up Sven. And now you can get the luxurious spool not only from the Brood Mother, but also from Arachne. So probably it'll be more worth it to kill the Arachne going forward. They added a couple of bug fixes, nothing really major, but if these have applied to you, it might be something that you've been looking for. And finally, a small recap on what the future updates may look like. So they're not giving any specific orders to these, but these one will be happening in what they call soon. Let's remember that if they say something is going to be in 24 hours, as we've seen in the game, that may mean months or years. So we'll see when exactly any of these will be. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe in 2 or 3 months from now we might see one or two of these come in. But basically, there's going to be a quality of life update to the End Island, a revamp of the Kudra fight, the garden update, which is going to be a new place to farm and could include some new crops and new things for us to do, new ways of leveling up, and could be a huge revamp to the farming part of the game. The Skyblock Levels follow-up, so I'm guessing it's going to be more ways to gain Skyblock levels, and who knows, maybe some extra perks along the way. I would really like to see a couple of plus int thrown in there once in a while, maybe every 10 or 20 levels or something like that. And then there's some new bits items coming up. And then in the moderately soon, so if I had to take a guess, maybe in the 6 to 12 month range, we'll have the wizard portal and the second part of the garden update. And this one probably in a good while now, the forging update. However, that being said, if we look at the credits of this update over here, we'll see that different parts or different features have different leads that are getting credit for it. So it's very possible that some of these are now assigned each to their own part here. So it's definitely possible that we'll get another patch that contains multiple of these together. Who knows, maybe patch 0.16 will have some or most of these included as a big patch together. So looking forward as we hear more from what's going to happen, and I expect at some point we'll see some of these things coming up in the alpha so we can test out and see what they're going to look like. So the very quick thing I'll show in the game for the Skyblock levels is if you look at your Skyblock profile, you'll see a new button here for Skyblock levels. And when you go here, you'll see the level you are. So, at level 115, I got +1 strength and +5 health for this level. And you can see each level before or after what you get. And at specific milestones, you get a new prefix. So currently I'm in the uncommon category, and then at 120, you get in the rare category, and so forth. And then you can use the scroll left to see previous levels or scroll right to see future levels. The other important part is the ways to gain Skyblock XP. So if you see here, you'll have all of the things, and I'll do a video specifically on these going forward. Yeah, so there's one in particular that I'll call out is the commission milestones. So if you click on this one, I had activated these previously, but they were not activated as I came in. So I think they've made some changes to here. So make sure if you've done a lot of commissions that you come in and get your bonuses. And basically you're getting some more Skyblock XP. And then at milestone 4, you get the travel scroll to Guardian Mines over here that I just got today. So, and as we do more commissions, we'll be unlocking more of these extra rewards. And other than that, yeah, you can just explore some of these. Only have the information as you see here, but some of them will let you click on them and you can see further details on what you have left to accomplish to get some more XP. And then the small note over here that there's more changes coming soon. As always, thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, share with a friend. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.